Delegation rule number 1. Just because someone can do the task doesn't mean they should. No, you don't just give the social media strategy to your IT guy because he's got time or because he gets a lot done. Giving a task to whoever isn't drowning today isn't delegation, it's desperation. That's a vibe, and not a good one. Today, we're talking all about delegation, and specifically, the art of locating the right person for the right task at the right time. This is step 3 of my Delegate framework, DELEGATE. Define the task, examine the task, locate the right person, explain the why, give clear instructions, allow autonomy, trust and support, evaluate and acknowledge. You can find the link to other videos below where I'm talking about this topic. And I'll be talking all about it in the upcoming videos too. So subscribing, that's always a good idea. But for now, let's dig into locate the right person, because delegation isn't a grab bag. It's more like matchmaking. Think about it like this. You don't hand the choice of your wedding playlist over to, say, an ex who still isn't over you, or to your polka-loving uncle, unless, of course, you too love to polka the night away. And you don't give a high-stakes project to someone just because they happen to make eye contact with you during the last meeting. As a matter of fact, this is one of the biggest reasons your team might avoid making eye contact with you in the first place. Don't make eye contact with her, or she'll give you something to do. That makes no sense. Your goal isn't to dump work. Your goal is to develop your team and to drive results. To do that, you got to get intentional. Who gets what and why? And that also includes you. When you aren't doing what you absolutely know you need to be doing because you have too many things to do that you shouldn't be doing, well, work gets pretty hard to follow and keep up with, doesn't it? Sit with that sentence for a minute. Here are 3 test question filters to help you locate the right person for the job. Number 1, skills and expertise. Obvious? Yes. Overlooked? Constantly. Does this person have most of the skills and expertise needed? Notice I said most. That doesn't mean that they have all of them, and they shouldn't necessarily have all of them either. Maybe they've only been on your team a short while, and that's fine. But what you know is that this person may need a bit more oversight and input if they're newer on your team. This may be a part of their development opportunity. But let's say that you need someone who's really great with difficult clients. You may not want to pick a person on your team who, yes, does a majority of things very well, but may not be your strongest person when it comes to difficult clients and dealing with upset people. You get my point. Match the task with their actual capabilities, not your fantasy version of them. In other words, play to their strengths as best you can. Number 2, what's their current workload? I can't say enough of this one being overlooked in 2 directions. First, don't reward competence with chronic overload. If they're already drowning, more responsibility and more opportunity isn't a gift, it's a weight. And you may be inadvertently creating another overwhelmed, burned out team member. Conversely, give real consideration to what each team member's workload is looking like as a general rule, but especially when delegating. Number 3, is this a growth opportunity? Is this aligned with their goals? Is this aligned with where you see them heading in the next year? Can it stretch them just enough to grow without pushing them into the stress spiral? When you hit that sweet spot, you build momentum, and you also build the confidence of the person you're delegating to and to the team at large. Momentum is everything. But here's where we often hit a common leadership pothole. You delegate to the same 2 people over and over and over. Why? Because they're fast, they're reliable, they get it, they make you feel safe, and you don't have to follow up with them that much. But over time, they start to burn out. And the rest of your team, they get underdeveloped, underutilized, and ultimately disengaged. You're not just managing tasks, you're building a team. And that means spreading opportunities strategically, not equally, but strategically. Now, I have a solution for this, and I want to tell you this next part, it's leadership gold, if I do say so myself. Not everyone needs the same level of guidance. I was pointing to this earlier in the video, and that really matters. You delegate to the same people all the time when you don't have to be managing them that much. They can take the task and run with it. Think of your team then as existing on a spectrum. On one end, you've got your newer team members. They're enthusiastic, but they're pretty green. They'll need more structure, more check-ins, more clarity. On the other hand, you've got your more experienced folks. They've got wisdom and workflow down pat. They're craving autonomy, challenge, and trust. Here's where you become a real matchmaker and a real leader maker. Pair them up. You can actually delegate the oversight of a project or task to a more senior member of your team with a newer member. Now guess what you're doing? You're teaching your senior team members how to lead.
Booyah!
Use your senior team members to mentor the newer ones, while at the same time giving the more experienced person an opportunity to start learning how to lead. Let them shadow, let them co-own tasks if needed, and let them debrief together. Now, you're not just assigning work, you're building bench strength. You're developing your next round of leaders while scaling your current impact. Brilliant, right? Totally. Look, there's no one-size-fits-all formula here. That's why we use frameworks. They're a real good guide. Nevertheless, if you want your team to rise, you gotta stop managing like it's a solo act. You gotta let go to grow. You're a conductor, not a one-person band. And the music gets way better when you let people play their strengths and you play yours. Build empires, not egos. Leaders who hoard decisions or play favorites, they become bottlenecks with burnout. The best leaders, they create pipelines of talent, and they're calm, cool, and collected. They distribute trust. They develop people who could actually replace them. Yeah, I said it. That's what they do. You're not here to micromanage. You're here to multiply. So be the matchmaker. Find the right person, lead with intention, and delegate with wisdom. And as importantly, if you liked this video and it was helpful to you, hit subscribe to get more great stuff on how to thrive in the 9 to 5 and beyond. Happy thriving!